Hello, this is Andrew broadcasting from Warsaw, Kosciusko County. Tonight is the night of the actual election, primary election. I am here at the Republican headquarters, downtown Warsaw, Indiana. The polls is right across the street from where I'm looking at the Kosciusko County building. Tonight, we're just basically voting and trying to get the Republican ticket in office as much as possible. Nothing against our Democratic competition or anything like that, but we just want to make sure that everybody has representation and everybody has a voice. So tonight, I quite naturally I voted Republican, not just because I'm here in Warsaw, but because my beliefs and my philosophy on life closely align theirs. So I am a traditionalist. I am a constitutionalist. I do believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the whole Constitution, period, including the Bill of Rights. And as an African American, I think it's very important that we do learn about the Constitution and know it, if not by heart, know it at least enough, at least carry one with you, or have the sense enough to look it up when your rights are being challenged or when your rights are being threatened. But as an African American, I do believe that it is very important for us to learn the Constitution and know the Constitution. Not only that, as I said, I'm a traditionalist, meaning that I'm just a person that believes in family. I believe in cultural identity. Cultural identity doesn't mean racism, as other people would say, like the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag. The Confederate flag is not something that represents racism. It doesn't represent that. It represents pride in one's cultural history, Southern history. Those stars and bars don't represent that they're going to kill all black people. Now, in the past, there were individuals that probably did use it or misuse it in a certain way or represented themselves by that flag, but that's not exactly what the meaning of the flag is. So therefore, that's what I wanted to say about that. But I do believe in cultural identity, religious identity. This country is based off of a Christian philosophy and a Christian thought, but that doesn't mean that that's the only thought. Being the Constitution says that we have the freedom of religion, and you have the freedom to be able to use that freedom to worship your God however you wish to worship your God, as long as you don't violate somebody else's right to worship their God and worship God in their different way. As I always like to say, it's the same God. We just worship that God in a different way. Therefore, there shouldn't be any discrimination when it comes to that. There are some Democratic people out here that I would like to see win. One of them being Sherry Binyowski. She is running for trustee. And I had a conversation with her at a Dave Wilkins event. Dave Wilkins is a state representative out of District 18 who I voted for. He's a Republican, and he stands on the same platform. I believe I did a video about that. But I met her at that event, and even though she's Democratic, I still believe that she's probably one of the best people for the job, not due to the fact that she's a Democrat, but due to the fact of her ideas about what she will actually bring to the job. And I think that's the main point, and that's the main reason for voting for someone, is not because of who they are or who they represent or who's behind them, but what they represent and what they stand for and what their ideas and what their philosophy is and what they will actually bring to the job. My thing is whoever's the best person for the job is the one who should get the job, not because of their affiliations. But I do affiliate with the Republican Party because their ideals and their philosophies align with mine, which means a lot of their candidates probably would be candidates that I would vote for to be in that office, because they would be closely aligned with the ideas and the concepts and precepts and the theories and philosophies that I believe in, that I strongly believe in. Not to say that we all agree, because everybody knows that every Republican is not in agreement with everything that's all things Republican. Most Trump supporters don't get along with some Republican sympathizers, and there's been some arguments about that, but doesn't mean anything. We're all one family when it comes down to it. Even in family situations, a brother and a sister and a dad and a mom, they're gonna argue at times, but as long as they remember that they're family, that's what separates strangers from those who are family. Those are families who are going to stand together through the test of time against those who probably will wither away or separate from one another and be divided. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to divide one another. We want to be able to have our disagreements and to have our voices be heard and our ideas be heard, but at the same time we also want to make a united front against anyone trying to alienate us from our constitutional rights and our human rights. And that's what this whole debate about. That's what this whole voting system is about. Is finding the right person for the right job for the right reasons. So again, this is Andrew Grammer. I'm just out here supporting the Republican Party out in Kosciusko County in Warsaw, Indiana. I'm going to walk across the street here, show you the headquarters here, so you can see what's going on. A lot of it's kind of just somber right now. It started at 6 o'clock. There's nothing really happening at the present moment. Everybody's still kind of waiting for those numbers to come in, but this one is very important. This election is very important due to the fact that Donald Trump is the president of the United States. He's a conservative, and right now the House and the Senate, we're kind of battling for seats in the House and the Senate, and we're just trying to make sure that our voices are heard as much as their voices are heard. We heard about this blue wave that's supposed to be going on. The blue wave is basically a statement saying that the Democrats really want the House and the Senate to be in the majority. They be in the majority. I disagree with that. I think it should be a balance. And of course, because I'm a Republican, I think that we should be the ones who should be leading the way. Not to say anything about them. I just think that we the ones should be leading the way. So this is headquarters right here. Gotta hold on a minute. This is the headquarters, and I'm standing here in front of headquarters. Today I'm just giving support. I'm not watching the polls or anything like that. I'm not out here on security, although I do tend to want to just lend my support. It's my first time voting in 42 years of my life. Why did I wait till 42 years to vote?
Hello there.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing pretty well. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. Take your time.
No. My name is Andrew Grammer, and I was here basically doing an expose for myself and for Facebook.
One guy. I know it is.
No, absolutely. I was just basically telling my viewers and the people that will be watching this is that this is my first time actually voting.
Finish it.
And I'm voting. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm just out here in support of what's going on. Wanted to kind of show my support and lend my support wherever it was needed. You know, I'm gonna leave it with this. You can vote. Oh, my reason for taking 42 years to vote. I come from an environment where I was told that my vote would count. For years of my life, I always believed that my vote wouldn't count. Feels like country weather out here today, sweating. But and for years I thought that my vote wouldn't count because I come from a demographic of individuals who always felt disenfranchised. I always felt that our voices was not going to be heard, that we were just a minority, and that because we were a minority, even though our numbers were majority, we didn't mean anything to anybody. So therefore, a lot of us just felt like, what's the sense of voting? Why do it? You know, if it's not going to count, why do it? Because these people don't have our best interests involved. This is what I was taught. But after educating myself about the electoral system, the electoral college, the executive branch, the legislative branch, etc., and how things actually work, it's still not perfect. The system is still not perfect. I'm going to say that much. But at the end of the day, you can't really sit on the sidelines and complain about something that's going on if you don't take a proactive stance and say to yourself or say to the people that you want to include you, I'm here. I'm here to represent myself. I'm here to represent my cause. I'm here to represent individuals who have my best interests involved. Because if you sit on the sidelines and you don't really say anything about it, then whatever happens to you, you have to accept it. And I'm just not the type of person that will just accept anything anymore. I'm the type of person that if something's going to happen to me, if I have to obey a law, if I have to obey legislation, or if I have to be accounted for some type of policy that was passed by a politician, I want to know. I want to know who that politician is. I want to know what they stand for, and I want to know if that policy or if that legislation that they have is in my best interest. So basically, that's all it is. So again, my name is Andrew Grammer. I'm signing out. Just basically wanted to show that I'm giving my support, being out here, and trying to be an example to other individuals who may think that their voices mean nothing. That's not true. Your voices mean everything. It may be one voice, but if your voice is added to 3 million other voices, or 4 million other voices, or 5 million other voices, and 6 million other voices, then that voice is very loud. If it's added to 6, 7, 8 million voices, it's very loud. So get involved. Don't just sit on the sidelines and complain. Nobody likes complainers. It's just a bunch of noise. You can complain all you want, but the problem's still going to be there, right? I mean, you're just being an annoying voice if you're just sitting there complaining all the time. Yap, 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 yap. And the problem is you're sitting there like, dude, are you going to complain or are you going to fix me? Nobody wants a complainer around. Nobody wants somebody who talks about the problem. We know what the problems are. What is the solution? Okay? And how do we prevent the problems from actually happening? My name is Andrew Grammer. I'm signing out. Vote Republican. Indiana, Ohio, and I believe Florida and a few other places are some hotbeds right now. We're trying to make sure that we have a majority as far as the Republicans are concerned. That's what we're going for. If we don't get it, that's fine. That's not a problem. We still want our voices to be heard, though. So, Andrew Grammer, once again, representing the Republican ticket out in Kosciusko County, Warsaw City. I love this place, and I hope you love where you live at. Get out and vote. In the midterm, in the primary and the midterm. May 8th. I'll let you later.